Pilot Summers. Weren't you familiarized with the operation of your ship during your training in flight school? Are you saying the resources invested by the government in your training were insufficient for your needs as a pilot? Great. This whole thing was just going to be about trying to make me say something I'd regret. Was my training insufficient? Probably. God knows nothing can get you ready for your first flight. They don't make sims that will actually kill you, is all, and everybody knows it. And as a result, you can log all the hours you want in flight school, but you'll learn a hell of a lot more about the enemy and yourself as soon as you're set to engage. So I had to clear that up before he even got started on it. That's not what I'm saying, but you know as well as I do that everyone tweaks their rig eventually, and a stock dog's not exactly factory preset for optimal performance. And that's true. The USAF designed BD-1, while prioritized off the line for stealth, was pretty much intended to be a supporting ship, not a fighter, designed primarily for long-distance recon, in-mission communications relays, and mobile network process tasking. Tech crews were creative, and it wasn't long after the ships were released for service that some pretty significant performance mods started popping up. That's when the name change came along. BD-1 is pretty dry. The factory code stood for Battle Defense Model 1. The USAF factories were more function, less flair, especially when it came to name designation, so once a BD-1 was modded, it earned the name change to Black Dog, a name which, in my opinion, was much more suitable for how it had been repurposed. Pilots and crews spent their own money and bartered parts through unofficial channels to improve the ships, and the supervisors pretty much looked away whenever a new part shipped in. What else were we earning the credits for? Honestly, we didn't expect to last that many missions, regardless of what they led us to believe back in flight school. You modified your ship. He stopped tapping his fingers, knowing it's against regulations and there are penalties for doing so. Obviously, investigator. That got my blood heating up a little bit. Investigators were trained in sight, first and foremost, and it bugged me that he was trying to push my buttons by playing dumb. Oh, whatever. Red tape and old rules. Imaginary lines put up at the start of the war to protect the government from litigation by the families of the pilots who never made it back. It's pretty well known that Pilot Vance has a heavily modified rig, and she's a Class 8.